Good morning to the live people, and hi everybody that's here watching this as a video. Welcome to Tarot Time. So we're going to do our weekly tarot forecast. I've got other divination tools. We do a meditation card for the week. And it's also a very special time because of the Pluto transiting into Aquarius right on the same day, which was yesterday. The sun went into Aquarius. So I will discuss the significance of that in a moment. If you're watching this as a video, hang out for just a minute or two. I like to give the live people a chance to get their notifications, and that'll give me a chance to say a few quick hellos on a Sunday morning. I'm going to bring my screen a little closer. So let's see. Yes, cold. Thank you, Colleen. It's got down to, I think, about 5 degrees here, which in the past that would be, just a normal winter cold snap, and now it's like a big deal. We used to get down below zero regularly up here in upstate New York. Now we don't even hit zero most winters, so the world's changing. So hi, Carla the Diamond. Hi, Stephen Ward. Welcome. Colleen Yvonne, Nick's Gypsies in. Hi, Mr. Floyd's channeling. I got your gift yesterday. Mr. Floyd gifted me an Isis Oracle deck, which I have not had a chance to break into yet. So that's going to happen next Sunday. So sorry about that, but thank you for the gift. Hi, Patriot Chick, welcome. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Katie. Yvonne, Suzette, MDR, Horses, Felicia, Pug Life, welcome. Yvonne, and did I say hi to Yvonne already? All right. Hi, Children's School of Yoga, Doreen. Hi, Christina. Oh, you guys have been busy before coming in. I don't think I'm that late. Hi, Jody, also. All right, and there's some new comments coming in. So whoever birthday it is, happy birthday. Anyone see, Colleen asked if anyone saw Freaky Skies yesterday afternoon. Not up here, I didn't, but I was in my office working. And yes, some of us saying thank you, Josh. So that's Mr. Floyd's channeling. He's Josh and has a channel where he does channeling with Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. So that's always good information that comes through there. And hi, Linda, if I missed you. All right. And Colleen, it's your birthday today, right? The 21st. Happy birthday to you. All right. We have a little water. Let us dive right on in. So crazy times. Yes, but it's all been predicted. Excuse me while I fix my shirt. You guys can see my aqua aura pendant here. Hi, Rita Bell. Good to see you too. And your birthday was last week. Hi. So happy birthday to all the later Capricorns and the Aquarians. Happy birthday. So the sun went into Aquarius yesterday. Not a big deal. That happens every year, right? For approximately 28 days. Pluto went into Aquarius yesterday. That is a big deal. Because that doesn't happen for, gosh, that happens about every 240 years for about 20 years or so. So really significant. And this marks a really huge change where we're really kind of coming past the cusp of the Aquarian age and really coming into the meat of it. So Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for about 20 years. Now, come September, right at the beginning of September 2024, till, I don't remember the date, roughly the 20th of November, Pluto will very briefly retrograde back into Capricorn, just only do about 29.5 degrees or so. And then it's going to transition back into Aquarius in November, and that's it. It's going to stay in Aquarius for 20 years after that. So for all intents and purposes, this is the beginning. Last year, Pluto dipped its toes into Aquarius. I wish I checked the ephemeris. When did that happen? I think it was like the later spring. I wish I had checked the dates of that, because the reason being, it would be interesting to see how your lives were a little bit different maybe during that brief period where Pluto was in Aquarius last year before it retrograded back into Capricorn. But in any event, yeah, this is like the beginning of the Aquarian age. Now, the cusp really began in the 1960s. And, for those of you who are my age or even a little older, I'm in my mid 60s. So, those of you of my generation, you probably remember the musical Hair. Even the younger people remember that. That came out in 1968. There's a song on it called The Age of Aquarius, followed by Let the Sun Shine In. So it's kind of like two songs in one. So that was the age of Aquarius. The group's name was the Fifth Dimension. So you talk about being ahead of your time. Yeah, that, you know, what do people talk about since right around, the last decade or two? Everything's about the 5D and fifth dimension. So that's very interesting. So the energy was already coming in. You could argue it was even coming in the 1950s with the Beat Generation. But this was all like the very beginning of like that flicker of higher consciousness, higher awareness, the idea of more communication, more community minded thinking and stuff like that. And that now we're going to really come into it. So big changes are going to happen. This is really like the fall of the empire, really. And as that happens, a lot of the facades in our society crumble down, and then we, the light workers, the healers, the mystics, the whatever you want to call, whatever labels you want to attach, the spiritual people of today, the awakened and awakening people of today, we're going to be part of the rebuilding, and rebuilding on a foundation of love and community and togetherness, and wanting to develop organically in sovereignty in the human experience, as spirits having human experiences, rather than being all mechanized and all about like the metaverse and transhumanism and following the whole programmed reality. So people like Dolores Cannon talk about timeline splits. They talk about two timelines, but my feeling when I was meditating yesterday, they were saying there's actually a lot of sub timelines, a lot of variables. So it's more than just two timelines. But really, the idea is right now, because the ages are shifting from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. Right now, like this year is really a good time to check in, like where are we at, and what are our ideals, and what path do we wish to follow. And it's not even enough to just think about that, but we have to act. We have to do things in order to support that. So if we want, for a good example, if we want to go into a more spiritual timeline, then we need to meditate, and we need to do spiritual things, and we need to open our hearts, blend our heart and brain. We talk about that a lot here, heart brain coherence. And when heart and brain blend, that's when we become coherent with spirit also. So it's like a divine triad, if you will, the heart, the mind, and then spirit, or the universal mind, as it were, that's activated when we're able to blend these two sources of intelligences within our body. Actually, around the sacral area, there's also what's called the second brain by some people, the stomach. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit too technical. So interesting, MDR. So she was. So I auditioned for Tom, the original Broadway director of Hair. All those creators of that music were fun and open people. Yeah, I bet they were. It was just a fun and cool thing. I never saw the musical. I did see the movie, the remake of that, which I enjoyed a lot also. A lot of it was filmed in Central Park, which I liked as well, and everything. And oh wow, so good for you, MDR. I'm just looking at your comments. You see, and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planets, and love And love shall see the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Yeah, indeed, yes. And Mr. Floyd saying to Loris, she's my spiritual grandmother. Yeah. All right. I'm just looking. The moon is in the seventh house. Yes. You're already on that song. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to get that on one of my shorts videos this week. And Felicia was born in 1968. Love that song. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. So, what were you doing for like the end of the March through June? What felt different to you? Because we got a little bit of a smidgen of a taste of what Pluto and Aquarius is like. Pluto's a generational mover, and yeah, the other thing about that is this really marks the end of the USA Pluto return. Yeah, because even when it goes back into Capricorn, it's not going to go back to 28 degrees. So Pluto's not going to hit the same degree when the USA was born on July 4th, although the Constitution was signed August 2nd, 1776. So, there's a little bit of a debate of when the USA was really born, but that said, July 4th is what we know of as the birth of our nation. So Pluto was at 28 something degrees. So anyway, so the USA Pluto return is over, and somebody messaged me yesterday, I think, saying, does that mean that everything's going to be right in the country, that all the crap's going to end, and all the corruption and all the negativity is going to end? And I had to say, no, it does not mean that, because Pluto reverberates. Pluto's a very slow mover. So what's going to happen is that the effects of Pluto are going to really reverberate within the Earth field for a while now. So the changes that we see and the reforms that we see are still going to take years in order to process and to build, but we're going to start to see that happening. And we're going to, and it starts with the fall again of the old structures, the old structure of government, of society that's not fair, that's unbalanced, and that's not just. The word just, is it justice or just us? Like JUSTUS, or justice. So getting out of just us and back into justice is part of that anyway. And I'm listening to yours. In March, I became the hermit and did some. I did I mean, my shadow work's been ongoing, but yeah, all right. So maybe that's just a comment, just letting us know that we're still kind of dipping our toes into the Pluto and Aquarius time frame. So maybe whatever shadow integration work we still need to do to keep doing that. Yeah. Say focus and center no matter what. Thank you, Patriot Chick. Yes. That's the idea. Yeah. Stay in our hearts, stay in your lane, right? Stay in the eye of the storm. That's the heart. The heart chakra, the heart center, the heart energy, and hearts want to love. They want to feel compassion and gratitude and all those positive, high vibrational emotions. And hearts can't be programmed. So part of Aquarius is technology, right? It's community. It's the internet, the metaverse, all that stuff. So there's, with like any other astrological aspect, there's a light and a dark side, or a positive and a negative side, at least from our perspective as human beings. And there's going to be a lot of continued developments with technology, and a lot of temptation to kind of pull people out of their human or organic spiritual growth and into a more of a metaverse, a transhumanism reality, where people may even target the spiritual communities and say, look, you guys, you don't have to study with the master, you don't have to meditate all the time. Put the technology in your body, click on this program, and you'll feel what it's like to be enlightened without doing the work. It's like, it doesn't really work that way, does it? So, and anyhow, yeah, thank you. So this coming Saturday, I'll be one of the speakers at the Dragon Summit by Azara Starchild. That's going to be. I'll have information next week. I've been so busy, I haven't even had a chance to look at all this stuff for the Dragon Summit. But that's coming up to the Year of the Dragon, so that happens on the what's called the Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year. So it's the first or is it the second new moon of the year? Yeah, we already had a new moon, right? And anyway, it's the new moon of Aquarius is when lunar New Year is. All right. And Pauline say no instant spirituality. Yes. And Mr. Floyd's turned off all the news. Yeah, I have to keep an eye on the news if I'm to you responsibly guide people. So I actually have to see what mainstream news is saying. There's a lot coming out, a lot's going on, everything from misappropriation of medications used to control an alleged pandemic that happened on the planet. I'm trying to use my words carefully here, but a lot's coming out about the testing process of vaccinations, things like that. That to economy, to what's behind the geopolitical motivations of the wars that are going on now. Couple of things that came up, and I'll talk more about this when I do the new moon forecast, or the full moon forecast, which is coming up on Tuesday on the channel, and then the February psychic predictions. One thing they were showing me was a big storm, like in the ocean, like in the Atlantic, like one of those storms that's just like wrapped with isobars. It's like out in the ocean, all these isobars. And I think what this means is there's going to be some kind of a prolonged major nor'easter or a very bad Atlantic storm that's more likely to affect coastal areas than us upstate. So that can mean a lot of beach erosion. It could mean a lot of snow, a lot of blizzard conditions. I'm not sure if that's February or March, but just a couple of days ago, I just saw this image. It's just look like there's one low pressure system dominating almost like thousands of miles of the Western Atlantic. We'll see, but that's one thing. There's a couple of other things they were showing me. I can't remember off the top of my head. But what comes to mind is this whole thing about more stuff coming up with things going on in the Middle East, and of course in Russia, Ukraine, and then in Korea and that area, and China, and now what is it? Also other areas of the Middle East. So it's kind of like showing this whole global reality, as it were, of moving towards a global conflict like World War III. So we talk about that. I still don't feel like we're going to come into full-on World War III, but watch out around 2025 and 2026. We may come close to that. And as I'm talking, they're saying, there's going to be a lot of shutdowns, a lot of states of emergencies, excuses for the National Guard to keep an eye on things here in the United States. Terrorism, domestic terrorism here in the U.S., that's my country. Jody saying, "Oh, the fraudsters are busted." Yeah, so that's happening as well. And never be stuck on yourself. Good idea. Yeah. So share tons of information. Oh, you talk about veganism? Okay, I was vegan for quite a few years myself. So I got into a few good recipes there. All right, so let's do some tarot stuff. That's some of the background, and what I like to do is do a meditation card for the week, which is what Spirit is telling us to maybe work on in our meditation work, in our spiritual work. So I'm gonna give these a good mix now. And like any other meditation, when it comes to tarot card, you can either use my image of my Morgan Greer deck, or if you have your own tarot card, you can pull whatever card that we pull. You get very relaxed, very present, very open. And once you're there in your mind, you step into the card and just feel the energy. So like That's the first step. Is like, how do you feel different when you energetically step into your tarot card in meditation? It's a different reality, a different vibration, a different frequency. What does that feel like? And then what are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you sensing? What beings, what spirit guides or angels are there? What messages are you getting through the energy of that card? And that card is Two of Pentacles, the Juggler. So perhaps this will help you to make some important decisions this week as you step into the card, or help you to balance things in your life a little bit better. This can also come up at meaning-wise as a second income, or bringing money in from two or more different sources. And to say there's a boat, it's clear, but the boat's leaning a little bit. That's what's getting my attention. That's like wind or storminess. So it's kind of leaning a little bit. And the pentacles are a little bit out of balance, and the figure's kind of looking ahead. Where's he looking at? Away from the water, towards something else. Meanwhile, the waves are active. There's a lot of birds around a lot of birds in this card also. Birds can be messengers from spirit, spirit guides, angelic voices, stuff like that. So here's the card. If you want to take a mental snapshot of it, great. And hi, Lakeside Laura, welcome. And I'm blindly inspired. If I didn't say hi to you before, hi to you as well. So there's our meditation cards. Let's do a 3-card spread next. Moving right along. Yeah, stay the course, whatever's going on, because I'm asking for information and I'm hearing Queen singing "We Are the Champions" in the back of my mind. And I think it's just Spirit's way of saying, keep going. We're doing a good job. The path is not complete yet. The battles are not done yet. Battles, okay. For some reason, I want to talk about that. You can lose a battle but still win a war. So, if you have a setback, heal, get back on your horse, lick your wounds, and get back out there. And at the end of the day, the battle really comes against our own self, the part of ourselves that's more stuck with our physical lives and physical being, rather than the acknowledgement that we're really spirit. We have bodies and we're having a human experience, but that's not who we are. So sometimes our spiritual ideals can kind of be in a little bit of conflict with our material ideals, or our egoic selves, our egos versus our spirit and stuff like that. So a lot of the energy now, as we're coming into the Aquarian vibration, is really overcoming our own lower natures, and a lot of that's the programming. And each and every one of us, by the time we're 95% of our programming is already set. And it's through the power of repetition. What do we see in the first 7 years? I saw my parents fighting a lot. That's one of the things that I saw. So I had a subconscious program that relationships are hard, they're stressful, you fight a lot. And it colored who I attracted into my life as an adult, as a partnership. So that's just one of many, many possible examples. But just because you're programmed doesn't mean you can't change the program. So that's the point of this. And to change your internal programming, don't just try to react differently. As a way to do that. You have better luck stopping a speeding freight train, sticking your hand out, than changing your emotion. You have to learn how to go within to the control center, so to speak. Delete old programs and download new programs into the subconscious mind. And then you start to respond differently to your environment and to people in a much more empowered way. So I'm still doing it. It takes time, but but I'm getting better, rather than just jumping to frustration if things aren't working out. I can see myself getting frustrated, and then I can make a different choice. So when you get to that stage, then you're not the program in that moment anymore. You're observing the program, and then you have a better understanding, right, or a better concept of what that is or what's going on. So this is really, that's one of the messages I'm getting. It may reflect in the cards or not, but to really look into those subconscious programs. And again, it's those habitual responses, reactions, behaviors that we're not even aware of, and those thoughts that are recurring that are 95% subconscious. And every thought carries a frequency, an emotion, an energetic frequency that we're not even aware of, but it's what we feel is what we create. So basically, until we become conscious and aware, we are subconsciously taking our past and making that our present reality. And as Joe Dispenza says, the mind is not only a record of the past, but the creator of the future. So what does that mean? It basically means that we're creating our future based upon the past, because everything happens in the present moment. So whatever we have in the present moment reflects into what we create in the future. So hopefully that makes sense. It makes more sense when Joe Dispenza says it, which is why he's so amazing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that he's so amazing, but his ability to communicate his ideas, to me, is what really stands out, which to me brings him a step ahead of most of the other teachers out there. And again, that's in my mind. Maybe just a speak of my language. I don't know. But anyway, so let's do our 3-card spread. All right. So let me just take a second to take a breath. Water's good. Okay, I feel clear now. This one. It's interesting. I'm pulling these cards and we will show them in a second. Okay, very good. What are they saying? They're giving me a message, and sometimes if I sit with it too long, I forget what the message is. But something about like really feeling like really all right, let me see. All right, interesting energy. So this is the card that I pulled. A lot of 3 energies, 3 and then a 4. 3 expands and grows. 3 is Jupiterian, where we get the word jovial from. So Jupiter energy tends to be upbeat, happy, funny, comical, and stuff like that. So during the this week, you're going more into the heart. You're being very aware of how we're subconsciously reacting to things. So that was the message that, because it sort of fed on what I was saying before, saying, all right, how do we respond when things come up? What's the first response that happens? So they want us to really be more self-aware, and not from an analytical point, but more from an experiential and an observer mode. And that's going to help to help us to make the shift a little bit more easily. So the 3 of Pentacles, there's a rebuilding thing. I've heard some news that the economy's strong now, even though inflation is still alive and well. I don't know, how true that is or what's coming under the surface. I do know with coming out of that Capricorn, that Pluto Capricorn, and coming out of Capricorn season into Aquarius, things can get a lot more dicey with things like that because it's revolutionary and evolutionary. So, that basically means that there's likely to be more questioning of the system, a lot more news coming out. Now, 3 of Pentacles, to me, especially because it's reversed, because it's often about heartache. Sometimes it's about tears. Sometimes it's about separation. Sometimes we need to feel these things in order to move through them. So we are very programmed and conditioned to avoid pain and discomfort. So a lot of times we just won't allow ourselves to feel. and that's a really big issue. And I believe it's part of the grand plan. That's what we used to call this whole like uh, grand conspiracy that's been going on in modern society. And a lot of the guilting and the shaming. Like growing up, a famous line I heard a lot was "Stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about." How many of you guys heard that? So basically, we're it's a little different than men with women, but males, females are programmed just the same. It's just a little bit of a different style and technique. But that said, we are programmed to not feel, basically, to feel guilty or shameful if we have a negative thought or a negative feeling. You even see that in the spiritual community. So programming infiltrates a lot of otherwise well-meaning and intelligent spiritual paths and teachers as well. It's like, you can't have a negative thought or emotion. That's bad. That's not spiritual. Well, my response to that is bull freaking bleep. It's like we're human beings and we're meant to feel. And that's part of the awakening. That's why, doing heart brain coherence. How many do that and find it difficult? Or how many people try to meditate and just have a really hard time doing it? I mean, there's different reasons for that, but a prime reason is that when you start to sit and you stop thinking, you start to dissolve those subconscious filters, and all those feelings, those difficult feelings that get suppressed, some of it in childhood, tries to surface. So when I do my heart brain coherence, the first thing that happens, this even happens when I go into presence, I just get this head rush. It's like my energy just soars. And especially when I do the heart brain work, it's like it's such powerful energy that runs through my body. My challenge now is keeping my body relaxed when all that's happening. And it absolutely takes a lot of practice because it's really powerful. And part of that is that there are so much feeling. Sometimes I'll go into heart brain coherence and I'll start crying because some of the pain that got trapped in my heart center, the energy really is working to dislodge that. It's a frequency that these old stories just can't exist within this new frequency. So it starts to release, and sometimes there's tears. That's not a bad thing. But I find if I just sit with it, by the time I'm done doing my meditation, I'm like laughing and all giddy and everything. So um so again, this is a program. We can sit through anxiety, we can sit through fear, we can sit through sadness. It's not fun, but we can do it. And and then we can reframe it. Like, in other words, even me saying it's not fun is putting kind of a negative framing on that. So we can reframe that in our mind. It just is. It's just an emotion. It's just a state of being. That's all that it is. And the reason that we want to be in happier, more joyful emotions is that frequency is closer to what we would call God or spirit or source. So when we're in the other ones, it takes us farther away from that because it more connects us with our base survival instincts as physical human beings. So, again, we need that to survive as physical human beings. We need those so-called lower emotions. But the art of the warrior is being able to face danger but not sever that connection with spirit, to be able to understand that there's a natural fear if you're under attack, that there are those emotions, but not to allow yourself to sever the connection to spirit, which is what those lower emotions would tend to do. So that's why warriorship training is so important. So anyway, I was blessed to come into this through martial arts training. Anyway, Four of Swords. So there's a lot of swords energy. Swords can be a lot of thoughts, a lot of clearing. I think we're going to be doing a lot of release work this week as our community, as our group, and as society in general. Some of us may need to say goodbye to one or more people through this Three of Swords. You're working on yourself, right? As we work on ourselves, what happens? So people that aren't working on themselves, they can pull us down, or they can be less attractive in our lives, or temporarily or permanently we need to pull away from them until they start to do the work and work on themselves, basically. So that can happen. Sometimes that happens in couples and marriages and relationships. Sometimes that's why people avoid growth, because subconsciously they know they're going to lose loved ones. But you know what? Sometimes the spiritual path can be a little bit lonely, but at the same time, lonely is, again, just a frame of mind. We're never alone. We're always one with God. We're one with Source, and we always have our guides and angels with us. And I'm never lonely. I live alone, and I spend a lot of time alone. Of course, I hang out with you guys, which helps a lot. So I get a lot of my social interaction through YouTube and social media, and it's not like I have no friends or see nobody, but the friends list is really trimmed down to just a select few. There's one person in particular, but a couple of people that I would have considered one of my best friends that just went off on me, and I haven't heard from that person since, just from speaking my mind and speaking my truth. We don't need people like that around. And if one of my best friends, you've said something that I didn't like, that I thought the person went off the deep end, I wouldn't slam them and defriend them. I would say, what's wrong with you? What's gotten into you? Talk to me. That's what a true friend would do, basically. But rather, this person, let me like a 2.5 page nasty note, just projecting all of their negativity on me. So basically, I was like, all right, time to move on, right? So you guys may have had similar experiences with people that you were once close to. It's fine, because it's all part of finding our tribe in the end. Basically, it's all part of that. Um, so this card says we need to relax. Also, it's like the Hermit's Repose card, but it's reversed. So we need to relax. We need to go more deeply within. The transition from one age into another. Pluto's, again, it's the underworld. It has an effect of changing things from the inside out, from the very core of things. So as Pluto transitions into a new sign, this time it's Aquarius, it's changing things at the core, basically. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker. I have to flash that. So I love you. Thank you for the donations. It's so appreciated. Um, and yeah, yeah. I know a lot of you can relate to that, and yeah, it is like making room for the no. Absolutely. And so very few friends are true friends. Oh, you really saw a bald eagle. I saw a bald eagle yesterday on my way to my office. Um, they definitely made a serious comeback in my area, for sure. Um, so very good. So yeah, and we may see a lot of stirrings. This could be, again, we're starting to come into the primaries. Notice I don't talk a lot about the politics. I mean, it doesn't take a psychic to know that it's going to get. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to flash that. I think Spirit flashed that for me. Uh, some people to teach but that's an excellent point. Thank you, Patriot Chick. Thank you, Spirit, for that as well. Uh, so anyways, so a lot of this is, what was I saying? Yeah, because we know it's going to be a shit show. We know that already. I mean, the last election was. This is going to be even more, because the polarization is even more powerful now. And it's interesting with our selection of politicians. Most people believe it's in the USA. It's another Biden Trump showdown, basically. And there's so much more to that story that people understand, whether you're a Trump supporter, a Trump hater, Trump neutralist, like I try to be with the politics and everything like that. Whatever the case, and whatever your take on it is that Donald Trump is the figurehead that's really changing society, basically, whether it's a spiritual conscious thing, or if it's more like something else, that's the reality of it. So yeah, so much more of the story. If somebody indicted on everything from rape to tax fraud to basically espionage, taking classified documents out of the White House, still running for president, though, how does that happen? So we sometimes we need to just see, okay, everything is very contradictory when it comes to politics. Why is that the case? And then we start to get some answers that way, just by seeing that it's in complete contradiction, and it's not just the USA. It's a reflection of what's going on in the world. So so like I'm saying, whatever's happens, it's up to us to make change. Exactly, it's up to us. Uh, One cabal versus another cabal, interesting. It's all a simulation, interesting. Yes. And part of the spiritual simulation is it's set up to be good versus evil. You notice that in this timeline that we're all in, good always wins in the end. Look at your movies, from Star Wars to every movie, whether it's good versus evil. At the end of the day, good always won. So that's the timeline that we're in. There could be multiple timelines that we can choose from, and that could be part of the simulation. Now, interesting footnote on that. Thanks for your comment also on that Patriot chick. When I was a child growing up, I had a beautiful Siamese cat named Strephon. Um, if you're a pet, I don't even want to say pet owner, because we don't own our pets. We're great to have them in our lives for the time that they're with us. But I was growing up and I had this idea. I was 4 or 5 or 6, and my cat's name was Strephon, from the Gilbert and Sullivan character from Pirates of Penzance. My parents were big Gilbert and Sullivan fans, but anyway, Strephon was older than his uncle. I think that was the thing about the character Strephon, that he was older than his uncle or aunt or something like that. But anyway, I digress. But I kept thinking, just like Strephon's my pet, this is my 5-year-old mind talking. Like, what if I was somebody's pet, and I was living in some cage somewhere, and I had owner, just like and I really believe that. And that now, as I started to study yoga, when after my awakening at age 19, the Vedic teachers talked about Maya, right? The illusion, that what we live is an illusion, and when we die, we actually go back to reality. So we're living in the dream now. Now we have more knowledge of technology. We have teachers like Greg Braden, and we know that living in a matrix is actually possible. So we know that. So there is credence to that theory, and in some way, shape, or form, I do believe that we are living in some kind of a matrix, and it's all like Patriot Chick saying, it's all by design, and we're here in this matrix to learn and to grow. So me as a medium, when I connect to the spirit people, am I connecting to people that pass on into some mystical realm, or are I connected to people that are not in the matrix anymore, that are communicating through a computer program and getting my attention and giving messages to the people that are in the matrix, that are still alive? It opens up a lot of possibilities, right? So the cats are very intuitive, yes. So, and say, if you, yeah, I love that too, and I when I watched the Cowboys and Indians, I rooted for the Indians. So that I think as kids, those of us that were here to awaken and to be part of this process, knew something was wrong with that whole picture. Yeah, cats are very intuitive. Yes. Well, we should, that's how conscious societies will be. We're going to be, I believe we're going to be able to take the best of technology, because it's not an evil thing. Technology is not the root of all evil, just like money isn't. Greed, you could argue greed's the root of all evil, but not money itself, right? um so technology in itself is not evil, but it can be used to control people, and that you would call evil, right? Evil, I think it's from evil. I forgot the Greek word, but it means error, basically, or mistake. So, anyways, so yeah, like you, Suzette, and Lakeside, and others, I'm very drawn to Native American stuff also. And I was a martial arts student in college. I had my awakening there, and I read a book called Seven Arrows by High Maestro Storm, which some of the Native Americans say it's not real, but whatever. It opened my eyes to Native American cultures of the Plains people, and I just fell in love. Basically, it's like, that's how I want to live. That's who I want to be. And I started to do sweat lodges. I go to powwow. I did a couple of teepee ceremonies, which involves the medicines, the peyote. So I did things like that to really connect with their energy and their knowledge. For me, it was sort of a mixed blessing, because I could feel all the ancestral pain as well. And I just stopped drinking for the most part when I was 24, although a little older, I would have a glass of wine here and there, but I just had to stop drinking, because I had a past life flash of being Native American, seeing the people just going crazy on the alcohol. True story. I was 24 at a seaside resort that my parents had a home in, back in the time before they sold it. And we're all going to go to the yacht club, have a few drinks. I stood outside. I had a past life memory. I couldn't go in. I just went home, and that was it. So anyway, I'm sharing a lot of my own personal stuff, but it all kind of fits in with the energy here. So again, there's that split. Part of what's going on to be aware of this week, and maybe the weeks that follow in our community. A lot of us are going to have splits, whether it's splits with friends, or splits with a job, or romance, or whatever it is. It's just part of the awakening. It's part of the process. It's initiation. We die to be reborn. That's what the spiritual initiation is. That day, Mary Magdalene came through the channeling on July 22nd on her feast day. She came through. She's saying that she's saying a lot of stuff about Yeshua or Jesus, but that the whole crucifixion and resurrection was his initiation from a 6th level to a 7th level initiate. So basically, like he didn't need his body anymore after that initiation. So he basically died, but he didn't die. So that's the thing, and that's why other stories emerge about the life of Jesus after he resurrected, and some people believe he actually married Mary Magdalene or whatever. Honestly, I can't speak on that, because I don't know, and I don't like to. I mean, I'll share things that are theories and say that they're theories, but if I don't know, I'm not going to say that I know something that I don't, right? So anyway, and Jody saying splits can help purify things, um, and yeah, this is by K Die or KD, depending on how you pronounce it. Yes, can feel both energies, good as bad. I probably cry entire time as do want to attend a powwow, visit a reservation, all knowing it's not as I feel. Wurtsboro, New York. Oh, I love Wurtsboro. I haven't been to Crystal Connection for quite a while, but I love it there. Thank you, Katie, for sharing that. Be splitting, yeah. So that's it. A lot of the splitting energy. I think that it's the WEF going on now. A lot with that. Like I'm saying, the economy from the outside looking in is fairly good now from what I'm being shown. A lot of the things that I and other people predict happen, but they don't happen to the extreme that they could. So January was slated to be a really dicey month for the economy, like a crash even. And I don't think that really happened. I mean, I know we still have a little time in January, but I don't think that really happened. But still, banks did close. There were still things that happened. And when the World Economic Forum meets, a lot of stuff happens because there's forces that want to centralize currency because that's a way of centralizing power, and there's others that want to eliminate um, paper currency, make it all digital, and yet there's others that really want to go back to a precious metal standard, which is more fair from my limited understanding. Like the gold standard. I think it was 1972, but sometime during the Nixon era to try to curb inflation, I think it was, they took money off the gold standard. I don't know how that curbs inflation, because then you can print as many $100 bills as you want without gold and Fort Knox to back it up. If anything, that would encourage inflation, I would think. So I probably have it a little bit off. And I was a teenager when that happened. And interesting, but in any event, so I think that it this week and into February, there's a lot of debates about that and money and that. I was gonna say that clown Schwab. What's that? Oh no, it's Klaus, not clown. Clown Schwab. You alone nothing and be happy. Yeah, you guys know who that guy is. Yeah, I know you do. So there's that. So follow your heart. That's the message here. Even if you have to encounter some pain along the way, we can't be alive without experiencing pain. It just can't happen. Again, coming full circle to the message in the beginning, the idea is we need to learn to feel again. And in order to learn how to feel again, we cannot be afraid of pain and difficult feelings. Not easy to get to that point, but we need to do that. And that's how we're going to open up. You're not going to open up to spirit if your heart's not open. That's the bottom line, because our heart is where spirit accesses our physical. That's why it's the middle chakra. 3 major chakras above in the body, 3 major chakras below. So if you don't open the heart, you're not going to be able to access spirit into your physical domain, into the matrix. We need to access spirit into our matrix lives in order to transcend the matrix, in order to reach our point of spiritual awakening, basically. So work with the heart. We have so many videos and so many resources right here on the Medium channel on how to do heart brain coherence and stuff like that. And you can also go to Joe Dispenza's many channels, because part of their marketing is that they sell the rights to his videos, and then YouTubers can get tons of views from Joe Dispenza's name, and then he gets a lot of marketing because he's out there. And I love it because he's one of the good ones. He's really trying to let us know how things work, how our minds work, how much more amazing that we really are. It's like I cured a couple of diseases that doctors said I would have my whole life. No, doesn't work that way. We can cultivate our mind, we can cultivate our hearts, and we can transcend this matrix existence. So you have a channel recommendation, Jacob Israel channel. Thank you for that. Okay. Sphere around. Oh yeah, sometimes we do a little bit of Merkaba work here. And Joe Dispenza's the man. Yes, he is. Yes. Heart connection. Yes. Well, he is a clown. Yes, Clown Schwab. Yes. Exactly. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's hit the like button. Yes, that helps the algorithm get more this information out to more people. If you think more people should see what I'm doing here, if not, then don't hit the like button. If you don't think anybody should find us, don't hit the like button. All right. Gosh, where does the time go? All right. So let me move through a couple of other divination tools. he healed his own broken back. Well, one of the reasons that they can talk about him, Joe Dispenza is a doctor of chiropractic medicine, to be clear. So that's why he's a doctor. So, um, but let's see. There's the god awful eczema. That was the worst. If you've ever known anybody that had eczema so bad that dermatologists would shake their heads, say, "I've never seen anything like that." That was me for almost 60 years of my life. Healed that. That's even before I knew about Joe Dispenza. So when I found out about him, it's like, wow, he's speaking my language. And then I learned more because he knows a lot more than I do about mind and the endocrine system and mind over matter and all that stuff. And I have an inverted vertebrae and scoliosis, and I haven't needed a chiropractor for over a year. Why is that? Because the last time it went out, and I was laid, well, not laid up, but I couldn't exercise for 3 months, and I needed ultrasound. I needed all kinds of work on my back, but what I did is every day I'd lie there, and in my mind, my back was straight. There's no pain. My back is straight. My back is perfect. I made that reality more real in my mind than the fact that I have physically have an inverted vertebrae and scoliosis. I haven't been to the chiropractor in over a year, and since age 50, that's a record for me. That it's gone out a couple of times, but it's healed on its own, basically. So anyway, you have cleaning on my mind. Yeah, so I don't have to rush if cleaning's on my mind, right? uh, yeah. All right. So here's my offering from the Native American Tarot. This is the card. We've gotten Hooster Coyote before. This would be the one of something. Oh no, it's the Magus or Magician in regular tarot. It's interesting that it's the coyote in the Native Americans, and because there's a parallel. The magician card is Mercury ruled. Mercury is considered the cosmic trickster, and in astrology, or this is more in like Wicca and magic, and using planetary forces, to aid in bending and shaping your reality. Um, but in the Native American lore, the coyote's the trickster. But the trickster tricks us into learning, so it's not a negative thing. So yeah, beware the coyote, guys. That might be what's going on. Part of the reason that there can be lots of ups and downs, lots of energy, is shown through here. A lot of activity. Um, but 3 again is growth and expansion. 4 is Uranus ruled, and we're coming into Aquarius. We're in Aquarius season, and we're coming into Generation Aquarius with Pluto's movement. So it's all showing that the especially in the beginning of a new phase of your spirituality, you may fall victim to some trickery, but you know what? If that happened, go with it. You'll learn and grow. You'll learn the lesson, and you'll come into a higher level, basically. So now, here. All right. So next on the agenda, this card just popped out, and I'm going to use it. Because the card just popped right out at me. This is Kyle Gray's Ascended Masters. I mean, Yeshua or Jesus here, acts of service. When you serve, the universe serves you. My martial arts teacher used to always say, "We serve to be served." That was one of his mottos. We serve to be served, and that's the idea as well. I love this because notice Jesus is not pale white in this. He's got a complexion that would be more consistent of people in the Israel Palestine area. I love that. And well, that's Kyle Gray as well. And the interesting thing is, my martial arts teacher, Blujanin, he's since gone into spirit. He's an African American man with green eyes. So he's very, very unique that way, born on the winter solstice, and was a true Jekyll Hyde. I have to say, it wasn't all good with his teacher, but talk about the coyote, but I learned a lot, and it's prepared me for my mission now. So all the stuff that I went through, being literally his right hand man for a good number of years. Um, it's really served me well. Even the bad part of it. So acts of service, when you serve, the universe serves you, and it's a good idea to work with the energies of Jesus. I talk to him or Christ consciousness every day, and I'm a believer. Not so much in man-made religion, but in God, Jesus, and spirituality. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So that's that message there. Um, Another card popped out, so I've got to go with it. The Lemurian. So two cards popped out. Clairvoyance activated, psychic awareness, sensitivity, trust your intuition. Yeah, I've been talking a lot about John of Revelation. I think he was actually I think there are two Johns in Revelation. Partly because I did that 666 video. The number of the beast shall be a number of a man, and his number shall be 666. That's a line from Revelations. So I got a lot of hate from Christians, I have to say, from that video. But one of the things that they said about that is maybe that's the number that alerts you to where the beast is, not the number of the beast itself. Because in the line it's the number of a man, and his number shall be 666. To me, that's a heads up to be aware of that. And we're all men, whether we're women, although it's woe man. So that's another thing. And a whole other thing we can talk about. Why is it man and woe man, right? But anyway, whatever the case, we're all men. We're all humans, right? We're all humans. So anyway, trust your intuition. I'm gonna move on because I know it's late and everything. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. So this is our sacred geometry deck. Well, that's an interesting take, and I like that. Womb man. Okay, that's better than woe man. I like that a lot better. Thank you for sharing that. I never thought about that. Beautiful perspective there. Um, and I like the expression "from the womb to the tomb." Right? It's kind of like we go back from where we came, the void, right? Because the womb or the yoni is like the divine void, right? The seed of life, basically. Which is the void or the darkness or the unknown or the non-manifest. All right. You guys have some good shares today. Thank you so much. Third eye chakra. Yes, let's develop that third eye. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic power. So adding on to what was showing up, trust your intuition, trust your psychic abilities. Now, when you activate your heart, you activate your brain, including your third eye. Your pineal gland is in the front lobe of the brain that looks God, I can't keep my thoughts. It almost looks like an eye, right? Like a tear almost, right? The shape of the pineal gland. That gets calcified through all the toxicity in our environment. And part of that's by design also, with all with all the fluoride and everything. So the idea is if we cultivate the heart, what happened, because the heart's stronger than the brain, but they're really the same. They're two parts of the same. So the heart's the energetic battery. It's like the generator, where the brain is the transmitter and receiver of that information, but they're all the same. So when you activate the heart, that activates the brain, and then your third eye opening becomes easier. So you always want to work with the entire chakra system, so not just the heart chakra, not just the third eye or the crown. So it's ideal to really develop your root, develop your sacral, develop your solar plexus, the heart, throat, and third eye, just as the Vedic teachers will teach us. But that said, our heart center is very special. It's where spirit accesses us into our human existence. So if we can cultivate the heart, then the brain locks into coherence also, and a coherent brain is an intuitive brain. When our brains are incoherent, we don't access our intuition, and it gets incoherent through the emotion of fear, through all those types of emotions, through all the programming and everything. So when hearts become coherent in love, compassion, and gratitude, the brain becomes coherent. Our heart wave patterns, our brain wave patterns come into a coherent rhythm rather than an incoherent one. They blend. We access our intuition. So anyway, this is the sacred geometry. If you gaze in the middle and just absorb that for a second, feel your third eye buzzing and opening. And through meditation, through mind over matter, we can undo a lot of the damage that society does. Our human bodies are amazing. They're equipped to handle the stuff. Sometimes people forget that, and it's so very easy to go into fear mode. It's like, well, it's all the toxins, and I'm just a small person, and the governments are programming and blah 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 or whatever. But we're more powerful than that. So anyway, we do have the ability. Our bodies are amazing. Our energy fields are amazing. Our will is extremely strong. So we have the ability to counter all of that stuff. So never be a victim. We're warriors. Learn how to cultivate your energy, cultivate your mind, cultivate your heart, and you can change a lot, and you can overcome a lot that way. Yeah, love you too, Suzette. I love this community also. So moving right along, we've got our totem animals via the medicine cards today. So we're working strictly with North American animals. We got two. It's two for a day. Well, we got three. So we got dragonfly, which helps expel illusion, is very protective. We got buffalo, which teaches us how to pray and how to pray with our hearts and how to be connected to nature, because the buffalo was the lifeblood of the native people, and they use the entire animal for everything. Then we have deer. There's a lot of strength and gentleness also. So no, deer are gentle, but they're very strong. So a lot of this to be is really about, again, overcoming a lot of the illusion, understanding how strong that you really are, and that there's a lot of strength and gentleness. Getting back to Jesus, what was the saying? The meek shall inherit the earth. Meek is not weak. Meek is gentle. There's a difference. There's a lot of strength in that, because we're able to really just sit back, cultivate our mind, cultivate our energies. We tap into amazing power, just like people practicing Tai Chi. It's a very kind of a meek, gentle practice, but that the energy that they're cultivating through that is hugely, hugely powerful. Yeah. Yeah, they all came out. Yeah. So Spear wanted all of these. Yeah. And last but not least, I have my angel therapy cards. One of Doreen Virtue's decks, which I still love and still find value in, even if she doesn't see the value as much as she used to in her own creations. I know what card already because they just highlighted it. Crown chakra. So we got third eye and crown. So a lot with the brain today. Cultivate the heart, right? And then you cultivate the brain. Pay attention to your ideas, that they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answers to your prayer. Channeling, yes. Do a little exercise as you're meditating with the card that we pulled, the Two of Pentacles. You can also do a little exercise. Okay, my heart's open. Now my brain is open. Sometimes before I channel, I visualize a funnel, an energy of great spirit coming down through the top of my head and into my voice box. And often when I do that, it comes out as light language, and which I don't even speak or understand light language. So I don't know what it means, but I do that in my channeling. But sometimes it's in English also. So I think the idea is to do that, this week. Do a lot of heart opening, feeling your brain opening, feeling your crown opening, and just ask Spirit, give me some ideas. Whether it's how am I going to make money in this world and not be a slave? Ask for ideas with that also, because most people are paid slaves, and we know that it's set up that way. Um, or whatever it is, but that's the idea. Uh, oh, very good. I'm familiar with that book, though I don't recall ever reading it, but I'm familiar with that book. Yeah. Yeah, I read a book called "Opening the Channel" way back in the day. I forgot the author's name of that one. All right. Anyways, that's what we have for you. So, what's on the agenda for this week? We have full moon forecast. What we need to know about the full moon on Tuesday. We have full moon channeling on Thursday on the full moon. For those of you that are on Spirit Mind Family, I'm not doing the live Zoom meeting today because I just need to take the rest of the day off. It's been an extremely busy week where I've been doing tons and tons of mediumship, but I'm going to reschedule that for tomorrow. And I tried to actually post that to you guys that are part of Spirit Mind Family, and the website wouldn't let me, so I'm going to try again. So that was originally scheduled for today. That's going to be tomorrow at 7. And if you're not in Spirit Mind Family, that's our inner core group, and we do more I don't want to say more advanced channeling, deeper channeling with the master teachers there. We always have a theme of the month and exclusive content. It is Akashic Records month. So we've been talking a lot about how to access past lives. So that's on Patreon, Spirit Mind Family. There'll be note for that. And then next Sunday is tarot time again. And then starting February 8th is the 5-part power attunements course. So you learn how to really access your energy and in ways that you can develop spiritually. It's a step-by-step program that I downloaded from Spirit in 2013, and they told me it was going to be big in the 2020s. And then when I was doing my channeling work on New Year's Eve, Spirit said, "This is the year of power attunement." So like, all right, I'm gonna start to teach that. And we're going to do a retreat from August the 2nd to 4th up here in the Catskills, but I don't have all the details yet. And as soon as I do, that'll be posted so that you guys can sign up for that. That'll also be on Power Attunement. All right, so that's what's on the agenda. Love you guys. Thanks for sticking with me all this time. We went over an hour again today. Love you all, and yeah, I'm just looking here. All right. There's a good comment here. Now, you're healing me now. Haha. Gold warmth and sparkles comes in me. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I'll see you too. Next Sunday, we also have Children's School of Yoga. Doreen doing a yoga class for us at 5 p.m. So that's happening a week from today. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mafe. Ending. Bye.